You've seen the claim, 1 acre, $130,000. It's everywhere. And here's the uncomfortable part. It's technically true, which is exactly the problem, because that same acre, planted with ordinary corn, made about $860 last year. Not profit, just sales, before a single bill was paid. So how do you get from $800 to $130,000? Two respected agricultural sources land on almost exactly that number, but one includes a second product sold over 3 years. The other stretches a small indoor estimate across a whole acre. The math is real. The comparison is not. Today, we follow the money behind garlic, lavender, ginseng, saffron, microgreens, and specialty mushrooms. And we ask one question: what does a small farm actually have to sell to earn more from less land? Before we compare anything, every number has to answer 5 questions. What is being sold? Is it revenue or profit? How long did it take? How much capital and labor did it need? And is there even a market big enough to buy the harvest? Change one answer, and the best crop changes. An acre measures land, not shelves, not years, not unpaid hours, not processing rooms, not tourists, not customers. That's why this is an investigation, not a countdown. Start with the baseline. Last year, an acre of Iowa corn yielded about 210 bushels at roughly $4 a bushel, around $860 in gross value. And again, that's not what the farmer keeps. Seed, fertilizer, machinery, fuel, land, drying, transport, interest, and labor all come out of it. Corn isn't bad farming. It's a commodity model. Thin margins repeated across huge areas, with big machines and efficient logistics. A small farm usually can't beat that system with the same product on less land. So it has to change the product, the customer, or both. Garlic looks like the first escape from commodity farming. It stores well, chefs pay for distinctive varieties, and you can sell it directly in small amounts. But Michigan State University's production guide shows what the attractive revenue claims leave out. At fresh market spacing, a single acre holds around 87,000 plants and needs roughly 1,600 pounds of hardneck seed stock. Every bulb is split into cloves. Premium garlic is generally planted by hand, and then it has to be harvested, cured, graded, stored, and sold. Depending on the variety, you might harvest 4 to 6 times the weight you planted. But that seed stock isn't free, and neither are all those hands. Garlic can create far more value than commodity grain on a small plot. Not because of magic biology, because of labor, quality, storage, and direct marketing packed into every bulb. Lavender exposes a different problem with profit per acre. A small lavender farm might sell fresh bundles, dried flowers, plants, soap, lotion, and essential oil. It might also sell tickets, tours, U-Pick, festivals, weddings, photo shoots. A USDA-funded guide notes that large-scale oil extraction is often too costly for a family farm, that the most profitable small operations usually pair direct sales with agritourism, and that the hardest part is finding places to sell it all. So when someone pins one revenue number to an acre of lavender, ask what that acre really sold. Flowers? Cosmetics? An event venue? A day out? The field still matters, but sometimes the crop is just the stage the real business is built on. Ginseng changes the unit again, and its hidden cost is time. Purdue University built a budget for wild simulated ginseng grown under existing trees. Their quarter-acre plot only had about 6,500 usable square feet once you remove trunks and walkways. The baseline harvest was 25 pounds of dried root. At their baseline price of around $480 a pound, that's about $12,000 in sales. Impressive. Until the calendar shows up. Wild simulated ginseng is usually harvested 7 to 11 years in. The budget assumes year 10. Spread $12,000 across a decade, and it's roughly $1,200 a year, before costs and risk. Purdue did the honest calculation. Discount those future cash flows properly, and the baseline present value came to about $5,000 for the whole quarter-acre project over 10 years. And even that depends on survival, yield, regulation, theft, and a market where prices can swing 30 or 40% in a season, or a day. Ginseng can be valuable, but it doesn't pay like an annual crop. It pays like a patient, risky investment growing under the leaves. Then comes saffron, the crop made for viral videos. In a 3-year University of Vermont trial, a single gram of dried saffron took roughly 160 to 180 flowers, every stigma separated and dried by hand. Now watch what happens when you read the budget instead of the headline. The study modeled 1 acre between rows of solar panels at $35 a gram, plus 25 cents for each surplus corm, the underground planting bulb. Just establishing that acre took about $100,000 in corms, roughly 40% of the setup cost. In raised beds, 3 years of saffron sales came to nearly $297,000. Costs, about $265,000. Net from the spice alone, about $32,000. The famous number only appears when the farm also sells corms. Add those in year 3, and the 3-year net jumps to about $130,000. That is not $130,000 of annual saffron profit. It's one Vermont case, over 3 years, selling both spice and planting stock. And in their in-ground system, saffron alone netted about $7,500 across the same 3 years. The crop didn't create the biggest number by itself. The second product did. Microgreens remove the waiting. Some are ready in 8 to 14 days, and the shelves stack several layers high inside a tiny room. That speed is why the online numbers get enormous. But a 2024 University of Missouri budget gives a cleaner unit. One harvested 10 by 20 inch tray. Under its assumptions, a tray sells for $32 to $60 and clears somewhere between about $6 and $19 above total cost, depending on the crop. That's a real margin in almost no space. It's also a planning estimate. It assumes $4 an ounce and 15 minutes of labor per tray. A USDA-funded case study converted a 56-square-foot cold room. Its budget suggested recovering about $2,300 of startup cost in year 1, with roughly $1,500 of net income at 12 trays a week. Profitable? In that case, yes. A fortune from a spare room? No. The crop can run 27 to 46 cycles a year, but only if every cycle also repeats the sale. A rack creates capacity. Customers create revenue. Finally, the number on the thumbnail. Cornell's Specialty Mushroom Guide reports grower estimates of $1 to $3 of net income per square foot. Multiply that by the roughly 43,000 square feet in an acre, and you get a range of about $43,000 to $130,000 per acre equivalent. That's where the number comes from. But it's a math exercise on indoor growing area, not a measured 1-acre mushroom farm. Real rooms have aisles, equipment, and work areas. Stack 4 levels, and 1 square foot of floor becomes 4 square feet of growing surface. Cornell's later study followed 5 real farms and had to leave out fixed and building costs because the operations were too different to compare. The 2 smallest, 16 and 24 blocks a week, lost money. The 3 larger ones turned a positive operating result. One sold about 60 pounds a week, near $800, and kept roughly $170 in surplus. Another pulled almost $1,000 a week, with about a $500 surplus. But it also sold kits, tinctures, workshops, and spawn. Labor averaged about 2/3 of operating costs. Rent, utilities, and buildings weren't even counted. Mushrooms can deliver extraordinary value from compact space. and still lose money at small scale. The advantage is speed, vertical space, technical control, and a market that pays for specialty varieties. The $130,000 acre isn't fake. It just doesn't exist in the form most people picture. So, which crop won? None of them, because land was never the only scarce resource. Corn needs scale. Garlic needs hands and direct customers. Lavender often needs products and visitors. Ginseng needs a decade. Saffron needs capital. And in the biggest case, a second product. Microgreens need constant sales. Mushrooms need throughput, climate control, skill, and labor. The most profitable crop isn't a species hidden in a list. It's the one that fits a specific farm's climate, infrastructure, labor, capital, and market. After every cost and every year is counted. The strongest small farms don't start by asking, "What can I grow?" They start by asking, "Who will buy it? How often? And what will it cost me to deliver?" The crop is biology. The business is the system around it. Next episode, we use exactly that rule to design one productive acre from empty ground, food, water, power, and income included, with a real budget behind every choice. Subscribe and let's build it, step by step.